This series is brought to you by you. Thank you so much for all of my patrons and the people who have used the Jackson's affiliate links. It is thanks to you guys that this series have been made possible. Thank you so much. Welcome back to the Colossal Color Showdown Season 3. This is episode 16 and we're going to carry on taking a look at the new Gamboge. Here we have the gradation test, and it's interesting because of all that diarylide and benzes and quinacridones and nickel azo. It is prone to either cauliflowering or feathering, that kind of things. Mostly the one that is going to give you the best, easiest life in terms of not cauliflowering or feathering, I would say, is around about the Winsor Newton, Core and the Mission Gold. They don't suffer as much from cauliflowering and feathering as other brands do. Brands that do cauliflower are Daniel Smith, Holbein, M. Graham and Van Gogh. So if you do struggle with water control, I would stick to a brand that suffers from less cauliflowering than these brands. And other brands, they do have this feathering effect. It's not quite cauliflowering, but it's also not smooth. So the ones that are best for gradation, now I struggled to pick which one is the best control. I would say that the Winsor Newton gave you the most control because you can see 4 very clear stages and they are exactly where I put them. But the Mission Gold one is much smoother. Stage 3 and 4 is a little bit similar, but it's very smooth. The mass tone is very smooth as well. So it just depends on what your definition of a good gradation color is for you. Then let's move on to the salt test. And as I said in Vermilion Part 2, which was a couple of videos ago, which I will link up here, because now I know what's the best circumstances or setup is for salts to react to paints, I'm going to do it in that setup from here onwards. So if a color doesn't react to salt in these conditions, then you know it's just not going to react at all, whatever the circumstances. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I did a salt test video about what is the best setup to give you the most amount of reaction from salt. You can find all about the results there. So all the colors are now pale because I've definitely decided that that's the way forward. In terms of no reaction, we got no reaction from the Winsor Newton or the permanent Gamboge. Then in terms of maximum reaction, I would say that Blockx, Old Holland and Van Gogh reacted really well to it. If I had to pick, Old Holland reacted the most, as in the shapes are the biggest, but you will see the reaction better with the Gamboge by Blockx just because of the color. It's more orangey. This is less orangey, it's more yellow and it's got lower value, so it's lighter to begin with, and that's why you see it better on here. Then we have the cotton paper, and let's compare the cotton paper with the cheap paper. Cheap paper is, as always, Fabriano Academia, and then the cotton paper is Saunders and Waterford 100% cotton cold press 300 GSM paper. And in terms of hue, there's not a huge difference. They obviously go down more smoother. You can say with the Daniel Smith, it's a lot smoother. With the Winsor Newton Core though, the 2 that has the nickel azo gold, it's still patching in the mass tone. So if you do want to use these, anything that has PY150 in it, you do have to use it a little bit watered down if you want a smoother look. And then we have the lower 6, and it is noticeable that the more transparent ones, they're less patchy, which is good, but there's not huge difference in here. Maybe the Turner one, it's lighter on the cotton than it is on the Fabriano. I love how clear, bright and even the De La Rowney one is on cotton paper. Also, this is the thumbnail that I create for each video, and this is for this video, and I have to say, you see granulation happening with the Winsor Newton quite a lot. and a little bit on the Holbein. So if you want that granulation, because it's cotton paper, the matte stone is going to be less streaky, so you don't see the streaks and you see a granulation instead, which I think is really interesting. Is it granulation? Is it just thicker layers settling down on the bits of paper? I'm not sure, but you do get that granulation look, so that might be something you want to have from your paints. Then we have the color mixes, and the closest color I had on my color mixing palette that's complementary to the new Gamboge is the Ultramarine Violet by Schmincke. I tried like the dioxazine purple, I tried ultramarine blue. You want somewhere that's bluish purplish color, but because it's such a wide range of hues, you're not gonna just get one color that's gonna be neutralizing all the colors. So some are much better neutralized by ultramarine violet, like the Daler Rowney, and then others are a little bit more greener, like the Core and the Mission Gold one, because they have a lot more cooler yellow, whereas the Gamboge is a much warmer orangey yellow. I just gotta address something first, and that is the Van Gogh. I get a lot of requests to cover student grade paints, and I do bring them in for things like this. If I have a space, I bring in the student grades, but I really want people to understand, the people that keep requesting student grades, I get that they're cheaper, but look at the difference between this and other brands. It's so low in tinting strengths, and there's no excuse for this paint to be this low in tinting strengths, because it has a benzimidazolone yellow and a quinacridone burnt orange, so it should be nice and intense colors like the rest, and it is not. And that just comes purely from the lack of pigments in that paint, and it just looks really bad to me. It's really tempting that when you're on a budget to go student grade because it's cheaper, but I will guarantee you anyone that goes for student grade will have two outcomes. One is that they look at this and go, why can I not do this really intense bright paintings like other people can, or I must be bad at watercolor, and quit, which to me is the saddest thing, because it's not that you're bad at it, you just need to upgrade your paint. Second thing they will do is that they will realize that student grade paints are poor in quality, and somebody will tell them, hey, you need to upgrade to professional quality, and then they have to buy the professional quality anyway. So in the long run, I would say that going for fewer professional quality colors, it saves you money if you want to carry on in watercolor. If you just want to have fun, sure, have a go at it, but I will guarantee that you will be disappointed in the color, how not bright it is. They're usually okay on its own, but when you mix it with other colors, you really realize how low a tinting strength a student quality brand is. And don't get me wrong, it's not that I hate Van Gogh. I don't hate Van Gogh, but it's very clearly noticeable here, isn't it? It just looks really sad. So yes, I recommend not counting this in the comparison of tinting strengths, because this is just, it kind of disqualifies itself. But highest tinting strength is the Daler Rowney Gamboge hue, which is a surprise because normally it's the Mission Gold that is by far the highest tinting strength, but this time it's Daler Rowney. It's very intense. Second highest tinting strength is the Gamboge by Blockx. The lower tinting strength one, I would say, is either the Holbein one or the M. Graham one, and that's good because you get a good range of tinting strengths depending on what you want to have. Basically, if you have professional high tinting strength colors such as quinacridones and the phthalos and the azoles and all those colors, if you put that in, it would just get drowned by other colors. So you want to stick to the higher intensity colors. If you have, on the other hand, because I would try to be fair in these videos, really low tinting strength colors like the cobalts and some of the ultramarines that can be quite low in tinting strengths, and you struggle to find a yellow that doesn't overpower those colors, then maybe consider using the Van Gogh. Although I have to remind you how terrible it was at glazing in the last episode. If you want to try Gamboge, but you know these colors are very difficult to tell on screen and on website swatches and things, and you want to try it yourself, this dot card is perfect for you because it is the new Gamboge dot card for this month's Patreon exclusive dot card. It has 8 professional quality paint samples: Daniel Smith, Holbein, Winsor Newton, Mission Gold, Dana Rowney, Rembrandt, Blockx and Old Holland. It's a great money saving way to try out 8 different colors without having to buy 8 different tubes. So if you'd like to receive this dot card, then do head on over to patreon.com/AutoKano and sign up to the appropriate tiers, and this dot card will be on its way to you. So that is it for this video and for this color. What did you think of these colors? Which one was your favorite? Do let me know in the comments down below, because that really helps with getting these videos seen by more people, so we can try and help other people save more money by being able to make good decisions on which color is right for them. For me, I love the Dana Rowney. Like, it's a surprise because I was really hard on the Vermilion by Dana Rowney in the last color I'll link up here. I really didn't like it. I thought it was a problem and it had huge quality issues. Whereas the Dana Rowney Gamboge is beautiful. It's smooth even on really cheap surface. When I think of new Gamboge, because my first new Gamboge was Daniel Smith, so my brain is wired towards this warm yellow opaque color as a new Gamboge color. So I naturally veer towards these warmer yellow orangey colors, and I think Dana Rowney is the best one out of the 4. Just really smooth, beautiful color, just spot on, no unevenness, brilliant. In terms of the cool yellow, the more transparent ones with the PY150 in it, I would say don't bother with the Rembrandt or the toner because they are hard to re-wet, and especially the toner, it is like trying to rehydrate a fossil. It's not fun, and you also get little tiny bits floating in it because it doesn't entirely dissolve properly. It's just not fun. And when I paint and test these paints out, they are soaked in the water for a while, so that if it's reasonable to re-wet, they'll give me no problem. If they are, however, after sitting in water, still hard to re-wet, that shows you how hard to re-wet this color is. It's not that I wouldn't recommend this color, but you are going to have a hard time re-wetting this color. I would say that the Winsor Newton and Mission Gold one is pretty good, especially when you want to do glazing. They'll give you the best control. So pick one of these 2 if you want to go for a cooler yellow. That's it for this video. In the next episode, we're going to start taking a look at neutral tint, which is super interesting because different brands have different colors. Do look forward to that. In the meantime, if this video has convinced you to try any of these paints, then please do use the link down below. It really helps to financially support the channel and my ability to buy more art supplies to share with you on this channel without costing you a penny. If you're not sure how that works, it's basically you will get shown the exact same price whether you use an affiliate link or you don't use an affiliate link. But if you do use an affiliate link that comes from me and check out straight away without using any other affiliate links, then the company will give me a small percentage in commission. So that's an amazing way that doesn't cost you an extra penny at all whatsoever, or cents. It's the shops that will provide the financial support by you using those links, and I always use other people's affiliate links when I'm buying things from shops as well. Please like and subscribe and share because they really help also in getting these videos seen, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.